Okay, in this video I'm going to show how to give credit where credit is due in your digital note cards and kind of recap some things that you need to be able to do in this. I'm starting actually in the research paper resources folder, and in order to get to the Gale databases, you can click there, and either one of, if the first link doesn't work and get you where you need to go, the second link will get you into the database. So as it turns out, when I clicked on that, there's the Gale database global issues, and this is the actual global issues one. So I'm going to scroll down to the research topic that I'm choosing to model, and that is greenhouse gases. And if I click on greenhouse gases, the very first thing that opens is a list of sources that go with this topic. But I'm going to go to the actual overview article that's provided by the Gale database. So I click on Read More. Now, when I click on Read More, there's an entire large article here, and I'm kind of previewing it. And we've already gone over that the citation in MLA format can be found at the bottom of the screen. Nonetheless, then, I'm going to kind of give an example of two things that I'm going to want you to be able to do when you do your source cards. So I've already started my source cards for this source, and the citation is listed here on my source cards. And obviously, in quotation marks, it says greenhouse gases, and then the citation that we used in MLA format is the thing that's listed there. Then I've also taken two sets of notes so far. The first one is what is known as paraphrasing. This is an example of I read the first paragraph of the article, found some information, and I completely changed it into my own words. So what I actually typed was carbon dioxide is the most prevalent greenhouse gas that is anthropogenic, meaning that it comes from human activity. If you actually look at the first article, or the first paragraph of the article, you can actually see, and I'm zooming in a little bit, that this information can be found in the first couple of sentences of the paragraph itself. So then what I did here, and I'm going to click out of the notes, because you can actually take notes and highlight these articles using the database itself. I'm not sure how it saves that work for you, but with that said, I essentially took what was in those couple of sentences and I typed it into my own words to the best of my ability. And then at the end of that, I put parentheses, greenhouse gases. And where I got greenhouse gases to be in the parentheses is that actually comes from the very first piece of information that is to be found in your citation. And later on, you're going to be reading articles where the very first thing in your citation is an author's last name. We'll put an author's last name in those parentheses for those types of sources. But for something like this, Gale Global Issues Online Collection, which is, you treat it like a reference thing, so it's like an encyclopedia entry, you're going to put the title of the article, and in this case, it was greenhouse gases. The second thing that I did here then is this is actually from the same article, in fact, same paragraph if you look at it. Other GHGs include methane, nitrous oxide, etc. like that. And I read that next part of the article, and in doing so, what I did is I tried to, with the best of my ability, I tried to put it into my own words. So in having put it into my own words, I'm actually going to pick the yellow highlighter. Carbon dioxide, methane, and nitrous oxide, all fluorinated gases are synthetic and tend to be present in the atmosphere in relatively small amounts. They are typically the most potent at trapping solar heat. So when I led into this, fluorinated greenhouse gases are different, and that was my own words, so I paraphrased to begin this, because they are, quote, because they are synthetic and are, quote, typically the most potent at trapping solar heat and usually remain active longer than their naturally occurring counterparts. And notice when I get to the end of it, there's a quotation mark here, but the period still occurs after the parentheses greenhouse gases. This is the second way that you can take notes on this, which is to lead into quotes with your own words, close the quote, and then make sure by the end of the sentence you have put your parenthetical citation, parentheses, greenhouse gases, period at the end of it. Notice there's no period right here after the word counterparts. The period still comes at the end of the sentence. So these are the two methods through which you should steal, borrow ethically the information from the article. The first one is to paraphrase, which means to put it completely into your own words to the best of your ability. The second one is to combine your own words with leading into the quotes. And then the other option, too, is you can lead out of a quote the same way. But this tends to be the most effective strategy, and this means that you're integrating direct quotations into your writing.